Great night for the Canes. Landed a commit from Cormani McClain, the number 2 overall player in this particular class. I've heard comparisons to Phillip Buchanan. I've even heard someone say that he actually has a higher ceiling on the offensive side of the ball. Now, of course, we're going to play him on the defensive side of the ball. This type of player, in my opinion, well, not my opinion, but most pundits feel like could potentially be on that level of a Derek Stingley, a Travis Hunter. That's the type of player that UM is getting, hopefully. But I feel like his commitment is going to be genuine. So I asked this question. With this class and what Coach Cristobal may have left in the tank to cross the finish line, will that push the current team? And could we see a fire being lit under the current players and we see a better product this Saturday and moving forward? And honestly, I think, yes. I'll go out on a limb. I think yes. I think that good players want to play with good players, right? And one of the things that I see on the field is I see some guys who don't trust their teammate. Don't trust their teammate because they don't maybe feel that their teammate will be able to do their assignment. So if you're not able to do your assignment, then someone else is going to feel the need to not only not do their assignment, they're going to turn around and try to do your assignment as well. So I think that as it currently is constructed with the certain class, we got the quarterback, got the bookend left tackle, got the shutdown corner, good linebacking core coming in. I don't really follow recruiting a lot personally because I feel like the majority of people that do, and I feel like it's just a minute that don't, but I feel like the majority that do put these players on a very, very high pedestal. And when those players do not produce as quickly as many people think that they do or they should, that's where people come in and start saying the players are soft and all this particular stuff. So I have no expectations. Some people have said that Cormani McClain may actually have a higher ceiling on the offensive side of the ball. He's that Travis Hunter, Derek Stingley, Patrick Peterson or Patrick Johnson type player. And we need that. If anyone has followed Coach Steele's defense, and even if we look at the Coach Steele defense this year, he's sprinkling in some man-to-man coverage. Some of the coverage is good, some of the coverage is not. So knowing that you have the ability to have a player to couple with the class that we signed last year with Kamari Rogers, I believe, being the highest rated corner that we got, but obviously he's recovering from an ACL injury, as well as Chris Graves. So we have some guys that we feel are going to be guys that should be able to get out there and lock up, and that will just open up the floodgates on the defensive side of the ball, because it's only so much you can do if you have to sit back in a zone coverage, and anytime you go man, you may want to send some heat. If the coverage is kind of shaky or kind of leaky, you get burst in the pipes, right? So again, I asked the question, do I feel like this particular class, as currently constructed and as Mario Cristobal gets it over the finish line, can this be the type of class that actually motivates the current guys that we already have on staff? I mean, on the team, not on staff, but on the team. One of the things that I've always heard is that good players want to play with other good players, right? So obviously we know that we have some good players on this team. Some of the good players that we have on the team may not be playing as well as we want them to play, whether that's from the culture shock that Mario Cristobal is bringing as far as the intensity that he has, or it could be a situation where guys are being asked to do things that they're not necessarily comfortable with, and the staff is trying to tinker to get those guys to play at peak performance, right? So good guys want to play with other good guys. I think these particular players that's coming in, I feel like Kamani McLean probably would want to have a safety behind him in a Cam Kitchens, a Devontae Williams, a James Williams. I feel that a Francis, I don't want to butcher his last name, so I'm not going to say it, but I think he does want to protect for a quarterback like Tyler Van Dyke and a quarterback like Jake Garcia and even a quarterback like Ja'Cory Brown as well as Jaden Rashada, right? I feel like that Robbie Washington, he wants to catch some balls from Tyler Van Dyke, Jake Garcia, as well as the other players that we have committed. Like I said, I don't really keep up with recruiting as much. I know we have a good class, the 8th ranked class currently sitting, but I don't really just keep up with it because, like I said, I feel like I would be the type of person who get overly invested, and when I see a guy that's not necessarily producing the way that I want them to produce, and obviously the kids come in with a lot of high expectation, especially when you're an upper tier 4-star player, and obviously, of course, when you're a 5-star player, we're expecting you to come in day one and contribute, right? So I think that this class will maybe light a fire under some of the guys, because some of the guys that are committed to this class, from some of the reports that I see, and from some of the other YouTube channels that I follow, these guys are coming in to take positions. They're coming in to take positions. They're coming in to compete. And if you're not ready to compete, you're going to get rolled over, right? So I feel like that what Mario Cristobal has done with this, just literally, again, this is the beginning of Wave 2, the Wave 2 that he spoke about a few weeks ago. And I feel like this is the beginning of the Wave 2 with a commit like Kamani McLean. And I think what ends up happening right now is that you may have had guys who felt like the recruiting has kind of tapered off, right? And so, maybe you felt your position was safe. And Mario Cristobal and company, DeMarcus Van Dyke, Coach Dye, they said it's not safe. Corners, it's not safe. I got Kamani McLean. There's rumors about another big-time corner that may or may not come to UM again. I'm not the inside. I'm not the recruiting guy. Again, I'm just regurgitating some of the information that I've listened to. So it's not safe. Obviously, the offensive line, some of you guys, this is at this particular point, when you add in the portal with this, this is becoming a dress rehearsal. Not a dress rehearsal. This is becoming a job interview, right? This is becoming a job interview. With the way that, because of the COVID year and the transfer portal and some of the rules that they've changed, they're allowing teams to sign big classes, big classes. And for those who don't know, scholarships are really just a 1-year deal. It's a cold-blooded game. It's a win now type of thing. And as I've been critical of Coach Cristobal as well as some other people, I really feel like that even though he says this is going to take 3 to 4 years, a competitor, and I feel like that I can say some of the redeeming qualities that Coach Cristobal has. As a competitor, you don't like to lose. You don't want to lose, right? So while some people are predicting 3 to 4 years, I really feel like that Coach Cristobal has gotten a good grasp of what it is that this team has, maybe what the strengths of this team are. Maybe, again, like I said, we get some tweaks, hopefully some of the tweaks on the offensive side of the ball. And I really feel like that Coach Cristobal is going to try to make a run next year. I really do. I'm not going to make any predictions about next year because I've got burned this year by predicting 10-2. So I'm not going to make any predictions. But what I will go out on a limb and say is I do feel like that Coach Cristobal is going to try to make a run next year. I feel like, like I said, going back to what I said earlier, I do feel like that this particular class, and especially with the commitment of Kamani McLean, I do feel like that may reinvigorate some guys, because I know coaches feel like, hey, help is on the way, but there are some players who feel like, okay, we have some help on the way. So maybe let me turn it up a little bit and let's try to end this particular season on a good note. on a high note. But that's all I got for you. Like, subscribe, share, and we'll be back to you again with another video later. Peace.